All right, let's jump right in.
All right.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into Indian healthcare,
Sounds good.
specifically Apollo Hospitals Enterprise Ltd.
Yeah.
And we've got like a whole stack of data to sift through.
Review.
Financials, company insights, even some shareholder announcements,
Oh,
all kind of pointing to this question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the real story behind this healthcare giant?
Right, because we want to go deeper.
Yeah.
Beyond just the stock price.
Exactly.
Think of this as like an X-ray,
I like that.
peering into the bones of Apollo's growth, how healthy they are financially,
Okay.
and, using them to understand the Indian healthcare market as a whole.
The heartbeat of the whole market.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start with Apollo's beginnings, right?
Sure.
The founder, Dr. Prathap C. Reddy,
Yeah.
he's practically a legend in the industry,
He is.
launching India's very first corporate hospital.
Back in 83.
Yeah, 1983, that was a huge move. I mean, it wasn't just about opening a hospital. It was about, like, changing the whole game.
Yeah, changing the way people thought about healthcare in India.
Okay, so how did that vision shape how Apollo works now?
Well, he saw something that was missing.
Okay.
The traditional system was kind of fragmented.
Yeah.
He saw how corporate structure could make healthcare more efficient,
Right.
make it bigger, reach more people.
Scalable.
Exactly, scalable.
Okay.
And that's how they became this integrated provider,
Okay.
offering, everything.
Everything.
Hospitals, pharmacies, clinics, you name it.
A true one-stop shop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like taking the best from the business world
Right.
and applying it to healthcare.
Exactly.
Creating this whole new blueprint for how to do things.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so with that in mind,
Yeah.
let's dive into some numbers.
Okay, let's do it.
Looking at the key points here.
All right.
Apollo runs 43 hospitals that they own,
Wow.
and they manage 6 more, which totals like over 9,500 beds.
Across major cities.
Yeah, major cities.
That's a lot of beds.
It is a lot of beds.
Yeah.
But their occupancy rate's 62%. Is that good?
Well, a good occupancy rate,
Yeah.
it can be kind of tricky
Oh,
because it changes.
really?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of hospital,
Mm-hmm.
where it is, the market,
Okay.
Generally, above 75% is considered healthy,
Okay.
but we got to look beyond just that one number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like think about a hospital that does a lot of complex surgeries.
Yeah.
They might keep occupancy a bit lower,
Why would they do that?
so they're always ready for critical cases.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
It's not just filling every bed. It's
Yeah.
more strategic than that.
exactly.
Okay, let's move on to something that really caught my eye.
All right.
The ARPOB,
Okay.
average revenue per occupied bed.
Yeah.
It's a whopping 57,760 rupees
Per day.
per day.
That's pretty high.
It is, right?
That-
What's driving that, do you think?
Well, high ARPOB can be kind of tempting to focus on.
Yeah.
But remember, it's just one piece of the picture.
Oh, okay.
In Apollo's case, it's probably a few things.
Like what?
They have a wide range of specialized services.
Oh.
Some of those come with higher prices.
Hmm.
And, of course, operating in major cities
Yeah.
where costs are higher.
It all adds up.
It does.
But it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Well, high ARPOB also means more scrutiny,
Oh, I see.
more competition.
Okay.
Apollo's got to keep innovating,
Yeah.
proving they're worth the premium.
It's a constant balancing act.
It is.
All right, let's look at Apollo's quarterly results.
Okay.
Their profit growth is crazy impressive.
It is.
Compound annual growth rate, CEGR,
Yeah.
34.3% over the last 5 years.
Wow.
That's like putting the pedal to the metal.
It is.
It's sustainable.
That's the big question.
Right.
A high CRGR is great, but you can't just assume it'll keep going like that.
Oh, okay.
Growth isn't usually a straight line.
Yeah.
Things can happen like markets getting saturated,
Mm,
new regulations, even the global economy.
can throw a wrench in the works.
Exactly.
So it's not just speed, it's navigating the road ahead.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, let's move on to pros and cons.
All right.
On the plus side, strong profit growth, consistent dividends,
Music to an investor's ears.
but then there's that con.
Yeah.
Their stock's trading at almost 14 times its book value.
That's pretty high.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Can you remind us what book value means in this case?
Sure. Imagine Apollo decided to sell everything.
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 Yeah.
Hospitals, equipment, every asset they have.
Right.
Book values, like the receipt for all that, minus any debts.
Oh, so it's basically their net worth.
Exactly, according to their accounting books.
Okay, so this high price-to-book ratio,
Yeah.
what does that actually tell us?
It means the market's willing to pay more for their stock than that theoretical net worth.
So it's like, I don't know, walking into an antique shop,
Right.
seeing a vase that looks ordinary,
Right.
but has a $1,000 price tag.
Yeah, is it really worth that much?
Is it? Or are we missing something?
Exactly.
Okay, so is a high price-to-book ratio always a bad sign?
Not necessarily. It could mean the market's optimistic
Oh, okay.
about their future earnings.
Interesting.
Maybe investors believe in their brand, their strategy, or, how they use technology.
To create value.
Right. Exceeding that current book value.
Okay.
Or it could be just overvaluation,
Just hype.
Yeah, hype driving the price up.
So how do we know which one it is?
We need to compare them to their competition.
Right, the apples to apples thing.
Exactly. Make sure we're comparing similar companies.
Okay, so that's where that peer comparison data comes in.
It does, but hold on.
What? What is it?
It looks like the data is still loading.
Oh, man, talk about a cliffhanger.
I know, right?
Well, while we wait, let's switch gears a bit.
Right.
Let's peek into the world of shareholding.
Okay.
Always something interesting happening in the announcements.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this time, it's
What is it?
Schroeder Investment Management.
Okay.
They just snagged a 5.01% stake in Apollo.
Interesting.
And these guys, they're not just, casual investors.
No, they're the big leaguers.
Yeah, they do their homework,
They do.
analyzing financials, market trends.
Probably even talking to Apollo's execs.
Right, so what kind of message does this send to the market?
Well, it definitely makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Institutional investors like Schroeder,
Yeah.
they're known for, big investment.
Long term.
Exactly. They're looking for solid companies.
Ones with potential.
Yeah, so their investment in Apollo, it could be a sign that they believe in them.
That they'll succeed long term.
Exactly.
It's like getting a thumbs up from the valedictorian.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But let's look at the shareholding pattern as well.
Okay.
The promoters, the founding family,
Right.
they've kept a steady stake in Apollo.
Which is usually a good sign.
It is, right?
Yeah. Shows they're still invested.
Okay, what else can we see from this breakdown?
It's like seeing who really holds the power.
Interesting.
Promoter holding, staying stable,
Yeah.
means they're committed to the company's direction.
Okay.
And it's not just them.
What else?
Public holding's been increasing.
Really?
Yeah, more individual investors are getting in.
So they're confident too.
It seems that way.
And don't forget the institutions.
Right, that big chunk they hold.
Adds another layer of stability.
And potential influence.
Okay, so we've got this diverse group of stakeholders
Yeah.
all playing a role in Apollo's journey.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about their beginnings,
Right.
their size, their financial performance.
Yeah,
But we also have these questions, right?
we do.
Like, is that high ARPOB sustainable?
Good question.
And what's the deal with that high price-to-book ratio?
Yeah.
Plus, that move by Schroeder Investment Management makes you wonder what they see that we don't.
It does.
But before we jump to any conclusions,
Yeah,
we need to compare Apollo to its rivals.
we do. And thankfully, looks like our data is finally loaded.
Oh, perfect timing!
It is.
All right, get ready for round two.
I'm
We're
ready.
diving into the peer comparison next.
Let's see how they stack up.
Exactly. Okay, so it's time for the main event.
The main event.
The peer comparison.
Right.
Like a healthcare showdown.
Yeah, Apollo versus its rivals.
Exactly. Let's see who comes out on top.
Who comes out on top?
And remember that high price-to-book ratio?
I do, yeah.
Now we can actually see
We can.
if that's normal in the Indian healthcare market,
Right.
or if Apollo's an outlier.
An outlier, yeah. Important distinction.
So let's say we've got this table
Oh.
with all the key players.
Right.
What should we be looking at?
First up, those price-to-book ratios.
Okay, got it.
Are other companies in the same range?
Yeah,
Or does Apollo stick out?
like a sore thumb.
Yeah, exactly.
If everyone's high, it might mean
Could be market optimism.
for the whole sector.
To the whole sector, yeah.
But if it's just Apollo,
Could be overvalued.
like that antique vase.
Exactly. Remember that.
I do.
Good.
Okay, so context is key.
Always.
It's like judging a runner's speed
Okay.
without knowing if it's a sprint or a marathon.
I like that analogy.
Okay, beyond price to book, what else?
Well, got to look at the fundamentals.
Okay.
Revenue growth
Okay.
shows how well they're capturing market share.
Got it.
Profitability.
Yeah,
How much money they're actually making.
makes sense.
And don't forget debt.
Debt, right?
A company with tons of debt might look cheap,
Oh, I see.
based on price to book, but it's a red flag.
It is, yeah. So we've looked under the hood, so to speak.
We have,
What would be a win for Apollo?
ideally, leading the pack.
In what way?
Revenue growth, profitability.
Okay.
If they're growing faster, making more money
Yeah.
than their competitors,
Hmm.
that high price to book might be justified.
Oh,
But if they're lagging behind,
and that 14 times multiple is a bit worrying.
exactly,
Is finding that balance, right?
between valuation and performance.
Yeah, okay. But let's say we see some red flags
Okay.
in this peer comparison.
Like what kind of red flags?
Maybe Apollo's growth is slowing down,
Hmm.
or their profits aren't as strong.
Okay.
What does that mean for our overall assessment?
Well, it definitely raises some questions.
It does.
We got to dig deeper,
Okay.
see why they might be underperforming.
Right, like is it more competition,
Could be.
rising costs,
Possibly.
or maybe they're investing in something big for the future?
That's also possible.
It's like solving a mystery.
It is.
Sometimes the obvious clues
Yeah.
lead to dead ends.
And it's the little
Little
things
things.
that crack the case wide open.
Exactly. Speaking of mysteries. Oh, those lost share certificates.
Oh, yeah. Those.
It's like a financial thriller.
Well, not really a thriller.
No.
More like an administrative headache.
Oh, okay.
Companies have to report those
Why is that?
to prevent fraud,
Oh, I see.
like reporting a lost credit card,
Makes sense.
so nobody can use it.
It's just a precaution then.
Exactly, a procedural thing.
But still, you gotta wonder,
Yeah,
how do you lose something that important?
you'd be surprised.
Really?
It happens more often than you think. Certificates get damaged, misplaced,
Lost in a moose?
yeah, or forgotten in a safe deposit box.
Wow. Okay, good reminder
It is.
to keep those important documents safe.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift gears.
Right.
Talk about Apollo's expansion strategy.
Okay, their integrated model,
Yeah, offering everything.
everything.
Hospitals, pharmacies, even telemedicine.
It's like a healthcare ecosystem,
It is.
covering all the bases.
What are the advantages of that approach?
Well, it lets them capture more of the healthcare spending
How so?
by meeting a wider range of needs.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Instead of just treating you when you're sick,
Yeah.
they're also doing preventative care,
Oh, I see.
managing chronic conditions, wellness services.
Building long-term relationships.
Exactly, becoming your trusted healthcare partner.
It's like having a car maintenance schedule.
Instead of waiting for it to break down.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Right.
Are other companies doing this too?
The integrated model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gaining momentum globally.
Okay.
India's no exception.
So Apollo's not alone.
Not anymore, but they were pioneers.
They were ahead of the curve,
They were.
which gives them an advantage.
Brand recognition, loyal customers.
Okay, but every business has challenges.
Of course.
What hurdles might Apollo face?
One of the biggest. Managing costs,
Cost, right?
especially in a market like India.
Yeah, with so much growth.
Exactly. Demand for healthcare is skyrocketing.
But so are the costs.
Equipment, technology, skilled staff.
It all adds up.
Apollo needs to be efficient,
Yeah.
keep costs down,
Yeah,
but without sacrificing quality.
that's a tough balance.
It is, for sure.
Any other potential headwinds?
Well, the regulatory landscape is always changing.
Oh, right.
The government wants healthcare to be more affordable,
Okay,
more accessible.
makes sense.
That could mean price controls, new regulations.
Apollo needs to adapt.
They do. Stay agile.
It's like sailing in uncharted waters.
Good analogy.
You have to be ready for anything.
Exactly. Adjust course as needed.
Okay, so we've talked about strengths,
Yeah.
challenges, competitors.
Yeah.
But what about the people running the show?
The management team.
Yeah, what's their track record?
Well, good leadership is crucial. And Apollo has been fortunate in that regard.
Okay.
They've had strong, experienced leaders.
Continuing Dr. Reddy's vision.
Exactly. Building on that foundation.
Expanding, embracing technology.
Navigating the market.
It's like having a seasoned captain at the helm.
Steering the ship through rough seas.
Exactly, but even the best captains need a good crew.
That's true.
What about Apollo's talent pool?
Well, that's vital for any healthcare company.
It is.
And Apollo's known for attracting and keeping top talent.
Really? How do they do that?
Professional development, a culture of excellence.
Sounds good.
They invest heavily in training and education.
So they're always at the forefront.
Of medical advancements, yes.
So it's not just about buildings and tech, it's
Right.
about the people.
The people providing the care.
That's a key takeaway for any business.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've covered a lot today,
We have, yeah.
but let's step back for a moment.
Right.
Consider the bigger picture.
The Indian healthcare market.
Yeah, it's such a dynamic space.
It is rapidly changing.
And Apollo's story seems so connected to it.
It is. They're not just a company.
What do you mean?
They're part of India's health and well-being.
That's a good point.
Right.
Okay, so we've analyzed their financials.
We have their competition, their strategy.
Yeah.
Anything else to consider?
Remember, this deep dive is just the beginning.
Oh, right.
We've given you the tools, the resources.
Okay.
Keep exploring.
What do you suggest we do?
Dig into those annual reports.
Okay.
Read industry analyses. Listen to conference calls.
Right.
You might find things we didn't have time to cover.
Uncover hidden gems.
Exactly.
It's like we've given you a map and a compass.
And now it's your adventure.
I like that.
Good.
Okay, let's recap what we learned.
All right.
We started with Apollo's origins.
Their impressive scale?
An amazing cash jar.
34.3%. Can't forget that.
And we talked about the importance of context.
Right. Comparing to peers.
Not just looking at one number in isolation.
Exactly.
Then we dug into their integrated strategy.
How they're building that healthcare ecosystem.
Beyond just hospitals.
Exactly.
And of course, the challenges they face.
Managing costs, navigating regulations.
Right, and we can't forget about leadership.
The importance of talent. Apollo's strong in both those areas.
They are.
So the big question.
The big question.
Is Apollo a buy, a sell, or a hold?
Well, we're not giving you a simple answer.
I know. It's more nuanced than that.
Investing rarely is.
True.
We've given you the knowledge, the
No.
tools to decide for yourself.
Exactly. It's about doing your research.
Exactly. Asking questions.
And learning.
The more you learn, the better your decisions.
All right, so I think it's time to close the books
Okay.
on this deep dive into Apollo Hospitals.
That's good.
But before we go, I have one final question for you.
All right, I'm listening.
Given everything we've learned,
Okay.
do you think Apollo is well positioned to not only ride this healthcare wave in India,
Right.
but to become a global leader?
That's a great question.
It is, right?
It is.
That's something to ponder.
Definitely something to ponder.
So we've really gone deep into Apollo Hospitals Enterprise Ltd.
Yeah, covered a lot of ground.
Financials, competitive landscape.
Their vision for integrated healthcare.
Right. But before we wrap up,
Okay.
let's zoom out a bit.
Zoom out, right?
Think about the bigger picture.
The future.
Yeah, the future of healthcare. Not just in India, but globally.
Globally. Yeah, that's a big one.
It is, right?
It is.
It's fascinating to think
It is.
how a company like Apollo, starting in India, could actually impact healthcare worldwide.
Right. Their journey.
Yeah.
It kind of shows
It's
us
a lot.
the forces shaping healthcare everywhere.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, rising demand, for one,
Yeah, that makes...
technological advancement,
Oh, huge.
and this shift
Yeah.
towards patient-centric care.
Okay, and we talked about their telemedicine, right?
We did, yeah.
Already breaking down those barriers.
Geographical barriers.
Reaching remote areas.
Exactly.
But what else is coming?
Ooh, that's the exciting part.
Right, what are we talking about?
AI diagnostics,
Oh, wow.
personalized medicine, even futuristic treatments.
Like stuff that sounds like sci-fi.
Yeah, almost like sci-fi.
Okay, give me an example.
Imagine your smartwatch.
Okay, I'm wearing one right now.
Right, so it tracks your steps.
It does.
But what if it also analyzed your blood sugar,
Oh, wow.
predicted health risks,
Okay.
alerted your doctor before you even felt sick?
That's wild.
It is
Gosh.
AI algorithms
Okay.
sifting through tons of medical data
Yeah.
to personalize your
That's
treatment,
so
your
weird.
genes, your lifestyle.
It's like healthcare tailored to you.
Exactly. That's the future.
And Apollo's right there at the forefront.
They are pushing the boundaries.
The whole new era.
It is.
But with all this amazing tech,
Yeah.
what happens to the human side of healthcare?
The doctors, the nurses,
Yeah, will they become obsolete?
that's a big question.
Right.
Some people worry about that.
I do a bit.
But I think
Yeah.
technology will actually enhance their skills.
Oh, okay. How so?
AI is great at data,
Yeah.
insights, but it can't replace
Right.
judgment, critical thinking.
Those human qualities.
Exactly.
So it's not humans versus machines.
No, it's about working together.
Finding that synergy
Synergy, yeah.
to create a better system.
More efficient, more effective.
Okay, but we still have big challenges, right?
We do.
Like making healthcare affordable,
Affordability, yeah.
accessible to everyone.
Accessibility, that's crucial.
How do we solve that?
That's the billion-dollar question.
Right. No easy answers.
No easy answer. It's going to take a lot.
Like what?
Government initiatives.
Okay.
Private sector innovation. Focusing on prevention.
Okay.
Early detection.
Right. Telemedicine's helping.
It is, but we need more.
More creative solutions.
To reach everyone.
Address those disparities.
Exactly.
It's a complex issue.
It is.
But it's good to see companies like Apollo
Stepping up.
trying to make a difference.
They're not just focused on profits.
Right, they're trying to make healthcare better.
More accessible. More affordable.
It's business with a purpose.
I like that. Business with a purpose.
It's inspiring to see that.
It is.
Okay, so we've reached the end.
The end of our deep dive.
Of our deep dive into Apollo.
Apollo Hospitals.
Any final thoughts?
Well, we learned a lot.
We did.
Apollo's not just a hospital chain.
Right, they're more than that.
They're pioneers.
Pioneers, yeah.
Shaping the future of healthcare.
And they've shown us
They have.
the power of integrated healthcare.
Right.
The potential of technology.
To transform how we deliver care.
And the importance of social responsibility.
Businesses can be a force for good.
That's a key takeaway.
It is.
We've given you the tools.
The tools to explore further.
Keep learning. Stay curious.
The world of healthcare is always changing.
It is, so stay engaged.
And who knows?
What?
Maybe you'll be the one
The one to do what?
to make the next big breakthrough.
Wow, that's a great thought.
The next innovation.
Changing healthcare for the better. That's a great note to end on.
It is.
So, from all of us here at the Deep Dive,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.